It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories.
You have states that want to return back to the 18th century and exercise this kind of control over a citizen in spite of their constitutional rights.
Colorado is upping the ante on abortion access and protecting those that see our state as a sanctuary.
There are a lot of lawyers who are very angry about it and who are willing to step up.
Colorado defense attorneys are already on standby for any legal challenges that may arise.
I hope everybody picks up this playbook. You got to challenge jurisdiction. You got to get it out of there.
This was supposed to be their final resting place.
That aspect of disturbing a grave that's been here for 110 years.
New development is forcing nuns to exhume the remains of their fellow sisters, how their mission to teach lives on even after death.
We're hoping that they're saying, "Good job, girls."
Well, we saw several tornado warnings for the eastern plains today. This is actually video from Fort Morgan showing the storm starting to take over there.
Well, the warnings have since expired, but we're still keeping an eye on severe thunderstorm warnings across the state. Good evening and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Danny News. Some of those storms could bring 50 to 60 mile an hour winds, so let's just hand it over to Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson on this Weather Action Day.
Yeah, Mike, we're also still in for a possibility of hail tonight.
Still out on the eastern plains. Denver is in the clear now. We have a few showers around, but the threat of any severe weather is gone for us, which is great news. We did have some tornado touchdowns earlier this afternoon up around the Fort Morgan area, but weather conditions have quieted down now, and with that, we're going to continue to have a few showers lingering in the Denver area, but we will expire our Denver 7 Weather Action Day as of 9 o'clock as things will really settle down. To the east, though, still some severe thunderstorm warnings, parts of Washington County, Yuma County, and there's even a tornado warning still in effect for southern Yuma County. This is around the very small towns of Joes and Kirk. Radar indicated tornado. We don't have any rotation on it. And a lot of storms out in Kit Carson County heading toward the Burlington area. So we have one of our exclusive Viero cameras in Burlington. This is the view currently from the city of Burlington out on the far eastern plains looking off to the west into some of those pretty ominous clouds. Now this is Denver looking to the west, and we can see some of the scattered showers and thunderstorms. At my house I had about a third of an inch of rain southeast Aurora, according to my rain gauge down there, so that was great news. Many people had some beneficial showers, but the metro storms are basically over. The storms linger on the far eastern plains, but there'll be more storms coming up tomorrow afternoon. I'll talk about where they could be severe. After that, it's hot and dry as we head into the weekend.
Thank you, Mike. Today, Governor Jared Polis took action to protect reproductive rights for people in Colorado and other states. The governor's executive order protects Colorado workers from facing any disciplinary action for providing reproductive health care, which includes abortions. Governor Polis is also making it clear the state will not cooperate with any criminal or civil cases in other states for people seeking abortions here in Colorado.
The governor's executive order comes as some Colorado attorneys sound the alarm about a possible wave of criminal charges.
Denver 7 CB Cotton spoke with one local defense attorney preparing for cases to come.
Unfortunately, right now, this country is deeply divided.
A divide on abortion, and criminal defense attorney Jason Flores Williams makes it clear which side he's on.
It's like welcome back to the 18th century.
He believes it's a woman's right to choose an abortion, and since SCOTUS's overturn of Roe v. Wade in late June, Flores Williams has hit the drawing board.
Number one is we're already preparing defenses.
Flores Williams and other abortion rights advocates fear women will be criminally prosecuted in up to 13 states with abortion trigger laws. Flores Williams says he and his law firm stand ready to defend those women.
So yes, and those kind of prosecutions are going to look like first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter. Then you have all the providers who are assisting. You've got aiding and abetting of those crimes, which are also very serious crimes.
Flores Williams says in modern law, it's no challenge for him to represent women who live out of state. And he's planned how he'll challenge criminal prosecution of women who have abortions.
One of the really important parts of a defense here is the First Amendment and the way it comes in utilizing the First Amendment as a way to keep out what we consider to be unconstitutional mass surveillance.
But he knows his playbook comes as anti-abortion advocates develop their own to support a post-Roe America. Meanwhile, Governor Jared Polis signing this executive order on Wednesday stating Colorado won't cooperate with other states' abortion investigations.
That does go from top to bottom, from abortion providers down to those that might be seeking abortions, that we would not cooperate as a state to provide evidence or anything else that would really harm or lead to some criminal charges for those folks.
MSU political science professor Rob Preuss says he believes Polis's order is also part of a political playbook we'll see across the country.
And I think there's some setup for November elections, and that's going to be a theme going forward.
The divide on abortion will continue with people ready to defend their side. CB Cotton, Denver 7.
We're learning more tonight about the biggest fentanyl powder seizure on a U.S. highway ever, and it happened right here in Colorado. On June 6, police stopped a car on I-70 near the Eisenhower Tunnel. They found 114 pounds of pure fentanyl powder. The Denver DA revealed today that the investigation began last December with a single drug purchase. Eventually, that turned into a large investigation involving a wiretap, which led to multiple large drug busts and arrests.
So in my opinion, bulk fentanyl quantities like this hold the caliber of a weapons of mass destruction type concern. When we take into consideration the worst possible outcomes of this poison being pushed out in mass in our communities. I've never seen anything like this, ever.
A grand jury has indicted 8 people. Carla Ramos Vasquez is accused of running the operation through a money transfer business out of Denver.
A Colorado funeral home operator has pled guilty in connection to a body part selling scheme. 44-year-old Megan Hess officially pleaded guilty to mail fraud. According to the agreement, the feds say Hess stole bodies and body parts of hundreds of victims and then sold them for medical research. Denver 7 Investigates has reported that Hess operated Sunset Mesa Funeral Home in Montrose from 2010 to 2018. The funeral home has since been shut down.
A very rare project is happening right now in the Loretto Heights neighborhood in Denver.
62 nuns with the Sisters of Loretto Order are being exhumed from their graves and moved to a new resting place, making way for redevelopment of the area.
It's a controversial decision, but as Denver 7's Rob Harris shows us, it's one that the Sisters of Loretto themselves are at peace with.
Like so many parts of the Denver metro, Loretto Heights echoes with the sounds of construction. But before this empty land can become new townhomes and green spaces, a very important project needs to be finished. A project that requires special reverence and care.
Our 62 sisters who were buried here are being exhumed to join our other 22 Sisters of Loretto who are buried at Mount Olivet.
Sister Mary Nell Gage is a Sister of Loretto. She wanted to join their ranks ever since she learned from them as a student here on this campus more than half a century ago.
And the nuns have big smiles and they're greeting one another and greeting us, and I thought, they love life. I think I can live like that.
The Sisters of Loretto have been in Denver for more than 130 years, with their core conviction being to educate the people around them.
So pelvis.
So it's fitting that this exhumation project is being spearheaded by professors and students from nearby universities.
I had no idea maybe 2 months ago that this even existed, and now here I am looking up as much as I can about, Loretto Heights, learning all of this stuff. So it's neat to see how fast this all came together and being part of it.
They spent their lives teaching, and now in death they are teaching. Amazing.
It's a bittersweet project for Sister Mary Nell. Neighbors in the area have told her they will miss visiting this sacred space just off the campus she attended. It's a feeling she shares.
That aspect of disturbing a grave that's been here for 110 years. On the other hand, what is best in perpetuity for them?
After a lot of deliberation and prayer, the Sisters of Loretto decided what was best was to move their fellow sisters to a new resting place, where they will be looked after for the years to come. They feel at peace with that decision.
And we keep hoping that when we see the beautiful birds swooping around, we're hoping that they're saying, "Good job, girls."
There is one more piece of comfort for both the Sisters of Loretto and the neighbors around here who are going to miss this space. A promise from the developer to turn it permanently into a memorial and a space for reflection. For Denver 7, I'm Rob Harris.
Still some strong to severe storms on the plains. Coming up, a hot weekend forecast.
This doesn't look anywhere near completion.
They paid hundreds of thousands for new home pools, but all they got was a hole in the ground.
The total project, I believe, was around $153,000. Now we have to pay another company to come back and finish it.
Tonight, employees behind the contracting company telling their side of the story to contact Denver 7.
We obviously feel betrayed.
Plus, losing a tooth can bite for hockey players.
You think you'll smile? I don't think I've ever seen you smile.
I was smiling.
There it is.
But one unsung Avalanche member is stitching up smiles.
We take you inside the secret life of this NHL dentist, working through blood, sweat, and teeth to help our champions.